All right, Sarah.
Oh, yes.
Bring me down. Tell me about belly fat.
Yes, let's
and
talk
I
about
can actually weigh in on.
belly
A lot of
fat.
times when you do segments, you're talking about stuff I really is not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I probably can actually weigh in on this, but obviously take the lead and educate us on
belly fat.
Belly fat.
And the reason I want to talk about this is because it's summertime. It's about to be summertime.
It's about to be summertime.
And so that's like everybody's main concern is always,
right on.
How can I get rid of this?
And I want to say that the little graphic that I pulled up, I don't know if you even saw it because I made you. Here. I don't want to steal your thunder. I just want to say one thing before I forget. This picture is really, really good because it shows.
I'm going to talk about it.
You are? Okay, then I'm not going to say it. We'll bring that picture back up in a minute. Travis, throw that back down, and then we'll see it in a minute. All right, go ahead.
You can literally throw it back up if you want.
Oh, okay, throw it back up, Travis, sorry.
So literally the first part is, what is belly fat?
Yeah.
And there's literally a picture right there to show you. So there's a visceral, which is the one that protects your organs.
Yes.
And then there's subcutaneous, and that's just right under the skin.
Correct.
So first off, that's just.
And so, and the one thing I could weigh in on this is there is a pretty distinct difference in the sexes in how people store fat.
Right.
You know, as you know, because we've talked about this, women tend to have more subcutaneous fat, and men tend to have more visceral fat. And in my world, what that means is I have men who come in and want liposuction. I'm like, look, buddy, your outside fat layer is actually fine. This is visceral fat.
Yeah.
And occasionally we get women with that. So.
Yeah, that's why I feel like like my dad, he always had a very plump belly, but literally there was no. He wasn't.
Yes.
There was no chub on it.
Right. Yeah.
It was just like
it's visceral fat because men and kind of going further into that, and this is something we talked about either last week or the week before. One of the genetic reasons that women have more subcutaneous fat is there's actually studies that show that the fat on the belly is more like breast tissue, and so than the fat on the other places because embryologically humans are like all of the mammals in that there's multiple nipples and then they resolve. So like the fat.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. So the fat on the belly is more like breast tissue because 10 million years ago or whatever. Maybe, I mean, no one really knows, but
that makes so much sense.
Yeah, like there, we had more breasts than we do now.
That makes sense.
Which is really interesting. I actually just learned that the other week when we were talking about extra nipple. Right? Yeah. All right, go ahead, Sarah. I didn't want
I can blame my belly fat on. It's because I should have nipples there.
Yeah, exactly right.
I should have multiple nipples. Just get over it. Anyways, what causes belly fat?
Yeah.
I think everybody pretty much knows it. Most of the time, it's we're going to talk about energy in and then energy out. So energy in, high fat foods, high sugar, high processed, and most specifically trans fats because those are extremely processed and those tend to cause the most inflammation.
Yep. And we've talked about the different types of foods and their effects on fat tissue. So you're hitting all the right things here. That's exactly right.
Yeah. And then obviously energy out. Not getting enough exercise completely derails you if you want to.
Yeah. And it's so, and it is hard for some people. I mean, I like my whole life have done sports and exercise stuff, and man, even for me, it's hard to get back into stuff. And the one thing I would add is, and we did a segment on this, is the simple act of getting more steps in can totally get the energy out.
Walking, yeah.
Yeah, walking, getting extra steps. I mean, we did a whole segment on that.
Put you in a little podcast.
We should do a podcast.
We should do a walking podcast.
Oh, that will be kind of that's different.
Our one podcast spawned a second podcast.
We'd just be breathing. It'd be just us breathing really heavy.
All right.
But yeah, so obviously to make sure that you lose belly fat or you want to control it, you burn fewer calories.
Yes. No, burn more calories.
Yeah, burn more calories than you consume. Yeah.
Correct.
And then obviously if you don't burn those calories, then your body stores it as fat.
You're probably the great person to ask about this. Do you think those little apps where you record your caloric intake and then you write and also you put in your exercise, do you think that's helpful for people, or do you know people that use that?
I think it's helpful to make sure that you stay consistent. It's hard for me to do it now because I'll put in the stuff I eat and I'm like, why am I doing this? I already know I already know what I should be doing. But I think it's important for people to do that. Like for example, if you've never had a diet whatsoever, I don't even like calling it a diet, just actually having
structured kind of
actually just being
aware,
a conscious food intake person. is like one day just eat what you normally eat in a day, but record that.
Yeah.
And it's like, I feel like it's like looking yourself in the mirror and just being like,
You're like,
wow.
oh man, I ate like crap today.
Yeah, and then realizing what it would take to actually work that off in a day.
Right.
So,
yeah. When you look and you see how much, like how many miles you'd have to run to burn that off, you're like, holy crap, this is not good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But some other stuff that really affects belly fat are, I'm going to go over some of them, but the first one is alcohol consumption. That causes a lot of inflammation in your body.
Yep.
And this
And
little
it's
article,
empty calories too.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
it's
empty calories.
It's just for funsies, but
It's just for funsies.
it causes
it adds
that
up,
inflammation.
Right? Yeah, it's the beer belly, right?
And I got this, by the way, I got all this information from a website, I think it's Medical News Today or something like that.
You know what would be a good segment? Would be like the best alcohol to drink to not gain weight.
It's tequila.
Is it? You already know that?
Yeah.
Okay, there was our segment.
It is. It's tequila. I promise. Anyways,
I'm gonna fact check you on that one.
So research has found that alcohol consumption and obesity found that higher alcohol consumption is linked to higher visceral fat levels.
Oh, visceral fat.
So that explains beer belly for a man.
Yeah, right. Okay, that makes sense.
And regardless of a person's body mass index or other markers, researchers found no discernible link between alcohol intake and subcutaneous fat levels.
Really? I did not know that. That's very interesting. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like that. So I guess you get most of the inflammation around your organs, and
maybe
so that
that's
makes
why
it
it puts the
put
the fat there. That's very
because your body's like, this is poison. What are you putting in my body?
Please stop poisoning yourself.
Yeah. How about you chill out?
All right.
Okay.
I did not know that. That's a very interesting fact.
Yeah,
I'm gonna file that one
I didn't
away.
know that either.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the next one is stress, which I have found personally that
Stress makes you eat or gain weight specifically?
both.
Both.
So cortisol is what your body produces when you're stressed out, fight or flight hormone.
Yep.
And people often reach for food or comfort food when they feel stressed. And then cortisol causes those excess calories to remain around the belly and other areas for later use because your body is in that.
Dude, you're like totally sciencing this up, man.
Because your body's like, I'm stressed out. I need to conserve my energy because something bad's about to happen. I'm about to have to run. I'm about to have to fight. I'm about to have to do something.
So I need to store some fat.
Yeah. Like stuff's about to go
Interesting.
down. That's like our primal response, you know?
This is a deep science dive. I love it.
Yeah. But I personally have noticed this effect because I tend to get really anxious or stressed out. And I definitely notice it in my stomach.
Really?
Yeah, and what I've been doing is I've been taking some vitamins. So ashwagandha gummies are supposed to be really good. It sounds like a drug, but it's not.
Is this something you have to buy in the alley or?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I've heard of ashwagandha.
It's really good for you, and it
Okay.
helps lower your cortisol because it helps de-stress
it's
you.
a natural
It helps-
cortisol. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so you can drink
Dude,
it in a tea.
text me that. I want to look that one up.
Yeah, you can drink
have
it
to
in a
text me the name of
tea.
I think
all
they
that
sell
kind
it
of
in
stuff.
like
I couldn't-
Whole Foods and Sprouts.
Yeah,
I couldn't
got-
spell the
I
word that you
got
just said for $1 million.
I don't even.
I don't even know what letter it starts with.
A.
Yeah.
O? Oh.
A-S.
It's ASH. Yeah.
Okay.
Ashwa.
I'm just going to be quiet so I don't look any dumber.
But yeah, I got mine from like CVS. So.
CVS, oh, okay.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend taking it.
Do you
can
like
take
it? So you've taken it and you think it helps?
Yes, I do.
Interesting. Okay.
And it helps
I'm gonna
you-
I'm going to look that one up.
Yes,
You
do
have to
it.
text me the name.
Okay, and then the next one is obviously genetics and the environment
Sure.
that you put yourself in. So being raised in an environment where you don't have access to healthy meals, food.
Yeah.
And
Unfortunately,
just,
genetics weighs so heavily on everything about us. I mean, there's just, there's no denying that our genetics really kind of predispose us to what we're going to be. And you can fight it and you can overcome it, but it makes it harder.
You might have to
for
do
sure.
it a little bit harder.
Yeah.
It's more difficult for you.
Yeah.
And then the next one is poor sleep. So shorter average sleep durations are linked with increased, what do you think? Which body fat? Belly fat. You think visceral or subcutaneous?
Subcutaneous.
Nope.
Visceral.
Yeah.
Really?
So
Less sleep. Okay.
yeah, so that's research shows.
Interesting.
And I have found that ashwagandha also helps with your sleep because it relaxes you.
Okay.
And what I've been doing, because I struggle with going to sleep, I take ashwagandha gummies, melatonin gummies.
God, your house is just like a gummy factory.
It is, because I like gummies. I'd rather take that than a pill.
Yeah, totally. I get it.
And then there's this other thing I do is I bought magnesium lotion. Magnesium lotion is so good to get you to go to sleep.
Really? Is there any data behind that?
Yeah.
There is. I'm gonna have to do a lot of research now.
I'm not gonna lie. I take magnesium pills like at
to go to sleep,
and they do put me out. Like they
do like
help
as soon as I put it on my skin, like my eyes start getting tired. You know how like they get like that dry feeling, heavy, like within like 10 or 15 minutes.
See, I notice when I take the magnesium, it's like a deeper, more sound sleep.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to try this.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you can find that at like CVS. It's not at some like fancy store. It's on like the aisle where they have like salves.
Okay.
On it.
It's
not in the vitamin
I've learned
section.
many things in this segment. I learned way more in this segment. I did my own. So.
Okay. The next one is smoking.
Is that's gonna?
That's going to.
Wait, smoking actually makes you eat.
Research shows that despite this general trend of lower body fat, smokers typically have higher levels of
visceral fat.
Yes.
I wonder though
because
if that's
of inflammation, probably.
I bet that's probably not related because as we say in medicine and science, like correlation doesn't always equal causation. Meaning, even though you can correlate two things, doesn't mean that one causes the other. Because typically, people that use nicotine products, it's a stimulant, right?
Yeah.
So it's like taking Adipex or phentermine, which it's an appetite suppressant. So I bet that's probably a correlation, not a causation.
Yeah.
I bet, but I don't know. I could be wrong. I mean, but the typical thing is when people stop smoking or using nicotine, they gain weight.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
But I bet they gain subcutaneously.
Well, yeah. So it may change where you gain fat. That could totally be true. Yeah, I can buy that.
Okay, so we've gone over like all the ways you can get belly fat.
Yeah.
But then we're gonna just talk about why it's dangerous. Like why, like besides just like you not wanting it because you want to look good in a swimsuit. Increased belly fat can increase your risk of heart disease.
Sure, absolutely.
Heart attacks.
Yes.
High blood pressure.
Yes.
Stroke.
Yep.
Type 2 diabetes.
Yep.
Asthma.
Hard for your joints.
Yeah. Breast cancer.
Yes.
Colon cancer.
Yep.
And dementia.
Yep. I knew all those. Yeah. And there's having that extra fat, whether it be subcutaneous, visceral, or whatever, has been linked to almost every bad thing that can happen to you. Yeah, it's not good.
So now we're gonna just talk about how to lose that belly fat. So
preach it.
Yeah. So I found 8 things to discuss here. Okay. So the big thing to remember is you cannot spot reduce belly fat. You can't just do a specific exercise.
You can with liposuction.
Yes. That's not an exercise though.
Right.
Maybe for you it is.
Yeah, I get exercise.
Yeah.
My arm's getting sore.
Yeah. But you can't spot it.
Yeah, no, absolutely
That's
not.
the part that sucks.
Because people think if I have belly fat, I need to do crunches. Well,
no.
It doesn't really work like that. Yeah.
So lifestyle changes can help lower overall weight, which is really just eating correctly.
Yeah. Which is hard to do. I mean, it's easier said than done.
A 6-pack is made in the kitchen, not in the gym.
I've always heard too. Well, not always. I've heard here lately that one way, like the better way, I guess, to lose fat is like weights instead of cardio. I didn't know that was like a thing.
I mean, you can definitely burn a lot of calories lifting weights. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, it's all like how much energy you're expending,
Sure.
and so
and it's the type of I guess weight training you're doing.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if you wanted to like thin down, I would do like high reps, low weight.
Yeah, like if you're going to the gym to get max lifts.
Yeah,
like
that's
if you're just
probably
trying to
not
do like I'm gonna do my heaviest deadlift, and then you're done. You're gassed for like 30 minutes
you're not really
afterwards.
burning a lot of calories.
You're not doing nothing for yourself.
That makes sense.
That's true. Yeah, like really lightweight. And when I used to really lift weights, believe it or not, I used to lift a lot of weights. We would alternate between weeks where we'd do like heavy weight, low reps, and then next week might do like super high reps, but like just bench press like 70 pounds or something, you know, just to, you know, work your muscles in different ways.
Definitely. That's the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then obviously second is diet.
Yeah.
Balanced, healthy diet and a caloric deficit, you know, fruits and vegetables and
Just
complex
don't eat.
carbs. Definitely focus on protein. If I were to, don't eat, yeah. If I were to recommend anything for if you are like making your first step in trying to eat healthy,
Okay.
is to find out how much protein that you need to eat and
Which
focus on
is-
that only for a while and get that protein intake.
Yeah.
Because you'll see that the more protein you eat, the less likely you are to crave
carbs. And trans, yeah.
Like, or just like not even carbs. Like, I mean, healthy carbs are good, like sweet potatoes, whole grain, that kind of thing. That's good for you. But like, you're not going to crave a cake. You're not going to crave that sweet stuff. That's the processed food, the trans fats.
Yeah.
You're not going to crave it.
That's the one good thing about my diet when I do eat is that I didn't focus on protein.
Yeah.
You know, and try to leave carb. Like I'll get like, you know, I know it's terrible to say to get a burger, but like I won't get the fries, right?
Yeah.
I'll just eat a burger.
Balance.
And you can, if you really want to go crazy, you can get like the naked burger or like a lettuce wrap or something.
I do that all the time.
Yeah. You're better than I am.
But then I might get the fries.
Oh, she's getting the fries. Watch out.
And then obviously the next third big thing is alcohol consumption.
Yeah.
So if you really like want
Yeah.
to show up, yeah, don't drink
empty
that
calories.
margarita.
And I would throw in, and you may be, sorry for Mr. Thunder, like, you know, empty calories like soda.
Yeah.
You know, I completely gave up calorie soda like 3 or 4 years ago. I only drink the zero drinks now.
Yeah.
Because it's empty calories.
Yep. I barely ever
Yeah.
drink Coke
And
anymore.
I promise you guys, after a lifetime of drinking Dr. Pepper, if you switch to the zero and you stick with it like 6 months or a year,
Yeah, and then you
won't-
drink a normal Dr.
Yeah,
Pepper.
you won't want it anymore.
It tastes like you're literally drinking
Like
syrup.
syrup, yeah.
Yeah, it's gross. I mean, I love Dr. Pepper, but because I'm a Texan. Okay, so
People that
next,
are watching this in other countries are like, what's Dr. Pepper?
So number 4 is exercise, obviously.
Yep.
Just maintaining a regular schedule of it.
Yeah.
You can
that's
start
the
out
trick.
small.
Yeah.
But aerobic exercise, which is, you know, the walking and running,
Steps are good.
but also strength training. So don't get down on yourself because you suck at running, because I suck at running. But I'm really good at strength training, so that's what I focus on. And then like maybe once a week I'll do some type of more aerobic exercise. So, and then this is a really nice one that I think is really good: sunlight exposure.
Yes, we've talked about that.
Yeah.
Where sunlight is helpful. I can't remember the mechanism now because.
Well, vitamin D
slept
makes you happy, and when you're happy, you don't crave those
Yeah, sun
awful
exposure
foods.
is good. You just got to be careful with the sun because it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Too much sun exposure is bad for you.
Do you also? I've not found, but I have been, since I've been researching like my cortisol levels. Vitamin D lowers cortisol.
That's what it was. That was the link. I was trying to remember
Yeah.
what the link was, and I think that is correct. I'd have
Yep.
to double check it, but yeah.
Yeah. So the more
Sunlight's
you're
good.
outside, the better it is. And usually when you're outside, you're probably
Doing
mostly
something.
sweating or doing something,
Yeah.
having fun. Hopefully, I mean, sometimes when I'm outside, I'm drinking a margarita, but it's fine.
Those empty calories in.
Maybe some chips. And then
some tacos.
stress reduction. So if
Right.
you're interested in stress reduction, we talked about mindfulness
Yep.
and meditation and gentle exercise like yoga
Yeah.
and stuff like that. That helps your stress. And I can attest to this too. Whenever I feel really anxious, I will pop on a yoga video. And I've literally tested this because I have a curious brain. I took my blood pressure because I have a cuff at home. And my blood pressure went down after I did
Interesting.
yoga. A pretty good amount too.
That's really cool.
Yeah, so
like
it works. And then obviously sleep, we already talked about it.
Yeah.
But sleep definitely helps that. And
Yes.
then quitting smoking. I think that's just, I mean, we already talked about
Smoking's
it.
bad for you 100%.
Yeah.
I mean, I
There's
historically.
no healthy link between smoking and
really
living.
anything. Yeah, historically, it is harder to keep weight off when you quit smoking. I mean, that everyone talks about it. Because I mean, nicotine is an appetite suppressant, but the bottom line is it's bad for you.
Yeah,
Not good.
no.
I have to tell you, I actually learned a lot in that segment. That was really good. I like that one. Good job.
Good.
Air high five.
Yeah, so if you want to lose belly fat, I would suggest you figure out what kind of belly fat you have.
Yes.
And start going down that list I talked about and figure out what you can take out of your life.
Yeah. And people
improve on.
like when they do it, when they get a plan like that and they stick to it, I mean, there's just such a sense of accomplishment. Because I get people in my office all the time that have lost weight and then they're like, they want to do something surgically because they lost weight and they have their skin or whatever. And that's its own thing. But those people are so just happy with themselves and proud of themselves when they get a plan like that and stick to it. Like it is very rewarding.
Yep.
So great segment, Sarah. All right.
You're welcome.
I think that's about all the time we have today. But please leave us a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about on the next episode of Nip Talk. And we will see you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.